Around a year ago, I made a challenge on a video where I asked for 1000 likes and I would build my Noctowl for the Ultra League, and now it seems like this Pokemon actually has some potential, which is funny. Also, can we hit maybe, I don't know, 400 likes on the video? Maybe we can do with it, I don't know, let's see. But yeah, we're going to take a look today at the newly buffed version of Noctowl in the Ultra League. We have a 100% version here. You see the CP on the top left side of the screen, as we only get to 2288 CP there. Back in the day I was like, okay, this is really a stupid investment. It didn't work out so much either in the beginning, but now where the move is buffed, like the wing attack is buffed, it actually seems like this Pokemon might have some potential, but we're going to talk a little bit about this anyway later. We're going to have a team here with the Pokemon in the back. There was Swampert. Swampert plus a Flyer is a very safe core. And then we have the Cobalion to bait out potential Pokemon like, I don't know, Trevenant for example, which you don't want to face with your Swampert in the back. Basically, this team is trying to set up the Swampert to sweep in the end game, which worked out pretty well in a lot of games. Swampert in general is still one of the best Pokemon to use in the Ultra League. Kinda crazy though, as we will be able to now shield up the opponent's move, going to farm them all the way down, and let's see what we can do with the insane amount of energy which we're going to get from this one. We have 2 Hydro Cannon stores, let's see what they have in the back. We will see a Registeel in the back. 1 Hydro Cannon will do a lot of damage already, not enough to knock them out straight, and we can still have to go for an Earthquake here, which will knock them out. I always need to go for 1 Hydro Cannon first. Earthquake does knock out the opponent straight away, but this Gliscor also gonna go down from the Swampert, and basically achieved what we wanted to achieve with this team, sweeping endgame with the Swampert. Next opponent, Weezing in the lead. Weezing is actually a Pokemon that I really want to build. I want to have a lucky trade for my shiny version of it, so I have like actually a cool shiny version for the Ultra League. But this Pokemon now with Brutal Swing looks like such a cool Pokemon to play. Let's see what they're going to do here. They're going to go straight for the Overheat. But you see how bulky Noctowl actually still is. Even though our CP is so low, this Pokemon is like a lot of fun to play, as we face a double here, which definitely is running the move Payback in the like as a secondary charge move, because they don't go even up to the wild charge ever, they just go straight body slam, and this is fine for me because this is now a very decent matchup for me, as I will be able to now go ahead and go for a Sacred Sword and knock them out. But yeah, Noctowl still a very bulky Pokemon, but this is a thing for the Ultra League. I really feel like you need to get close to the CP level there. Even like Pidgeot feels like it misses something here. Actually, Brutal Swing will not knock us out, while we can knock them out with my... I actually wanted to knock them out with my Swampert, but we swap at the same time. I think a move start on my Noctowl anyway, so it's going to be a good game already. This should be an easy win, and we just go straight Hydro Cannon and we win this easily. But yeah. The Noctowl still, I feel like you see really sometimes in some scenarios that you miss 200 CP, which is not ideal, definitely not ideal, and in this league definitely the Pidgeot is the better Pokemon to play, especially with the debuffing moves, and like Ultra League battles usually take longer, so debuffing the opponent helps you out a little bit more, as you have more bulk, and so the debuff affects it more, as my opponent tries to swap, which didn't work for them, and we win this game. So I don't really think that this Pokemon is the craziest one, but we still had some fun with it. I wouldn't really recommend you to build one. Like honestly, I wouldn't really recommend you to build one. Even though it's funny, even though it's kind of high, build a Pidgeot and you're most likely better off. I actually wanted to try out a team together with Pidgeot and Swampert in the lead then. But I faced too many Warrens for that, and Warren just destroys the team, so there was nothing that I was really able to do here. I'm going to be able to survive this Awkward Tail coming through though, which is nice, as I can still farm them down. They're going to go into... Let's see. We're going to see the Eversian coming back in here again. So they're going to have to take 1 Earthquake. I actually would have been able to go for 2 Hydro Cannons here as well, which would have been a better play, but I wasn't sure about this. As we now face the Skuntank against us, we can go for some Sacred Swords. We're going to shield up this potential Flamethrower, and it's going to be a Flamethrower, which is nice. Sacred Sword is hopefully coming through soon. This coming through, and we're going to get the shield, which is nice. Another Sacred Sword coming in. Let's see if we can get the final shield as well, as we won't be able to do this, but we can go for another Sacred Sword, which now definitely gets the final shield, as they need to keep this Pokemon around. Exactly, they have to still knock me out with the Flamethrower, which I think doesn't even knock me out yet. I can swap out immediately. And now I have my Noctowl aligned against the opponent's Verzian. We are Flying type, they are a Grass and Fighting type, which will mean we will be able to go for one Sky Attack here, knocking them out, and they're going to forfeit against our Noctowl here as well, which is funny. Next opponent, Charizard in lead. Let's see how this is going to go. Against the Shadow version of Charizard, you should do a lot of damage with it. You can outspeed it, I think. Like, you outspeed definitely to a Blast Burn, but if they bait you once, I think you lose the 2 shields, but I wasn't sure yet. We're going to shield up the move. It's going to be a Blast Burn. Would have definitely knocked me out, I think, at this point. Ring Attack does more damage than I expected it would do, but also we do some nice damage. I'm going to shield again, thinking if it's a Dragon Claw, I should be, yeah, I might still be able to get to my move, but I sadly don't. It's going to be a Blast Burn, this will knock me out straight away, as we can go ahead and go into our Swampert. They're gonna go into their OleSkaaren. I was a little bit slow on the swap, but it's okay, as we can go for one, what's it called? Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword will put the OleSkaaren pretty lowish. They can go for an Earthquake. I hopefully can overfarm a little bit here. I should be able to. And this will knock out the opponent here. And I might still be able to get to another move with my Cobalion, only to one Sacred Sword, which puts them into range for a Mud Shot, which is kind of nice, as I have to kind of Mud Shot them down. Let's see what they have in the bag. I'm going to have a ton of energy now already. Let's see, they swap into a Giratina. Sadly, this will not be enough. From my Swampert, a lot of Pokemon would actually feint to 2 Hydro Cannons or an Earthquake in this meta, but sadly Giratina will be a little bit too bulky for that. They're gonna go for the Dragon Claw, and we're gonna go down here, but it's still okay. Next opponent, let's see, Noctowl against Pidgeot. Let's see the bird battle of the birds. We see actually a best buddied version of the Pidgeot. I think it might be even the Hundo. Definitely a high-ish CP there. Best buddying, of course, is worth it for those Pokemon that don't get to the 2500 CP anyway. For anything else, I wouldn't really recommend you best buddy, at least for the Ultra League. For the Master League, it's very important to have best buddies, but a lot of people, including myself, are a little bit too lazy for that. But yeah, including myself there, I don't really do best buddy stuff at all. Kinda takes too much time, in my opinion, to do this, but it's fine. We will see a Sacred Sword coming through against this Poliwrath, which is not ideal for me. I'm going to shield up the potential Dynamic Punch, as this would most likely actually knock me out. I don't know the calcs against like Poliwrath. We will get to another Sacred Sword, and we're going to shield up another one here as well. This will allow us to realign, and I think this was the right call, but we have to see. We're gonna go for another charge move here. Do they shield this move up? They do not shield this move up, and they go back into a Swampert, which I didn't know that they would have. This is awkward. Maybe I can catch the move on my Noctowl. Let's see. I can go for some Sacred Swords. I'm going to try to catch, didn't work out, but I can still go for my Sky Attack, which I didn't expect. This allows me to get the shield from the opponent, gonna get them low. They have to throw still. They are not in Earthquake yet. They're definitely only at the Hydro Cannon, and I have still my Cobalion here with a move stored. I can just go into my Swampert for whatever reason. I mean, I still take one Earthquake here, so I guess it's fine. Earthquake coming through doesn't knock me, and they kind of have to swap onto me, which they do, which is actually okay still, because again I have a move start on my Cobalion, and Cobalion should do enough damage to knock them out here. As they go straight for the Hydro Cannon, I will go for one more fast move just in case, and this will knock out the opponent. Good game there. Sacred Sword is a very strong move. It's a Body Slam clone as a fighting type move, which is very good. We see another opponent here with a OleSkaaren now, which I go straight into my Cobalion, and this was not ideal whatsoever. Maybe should have went to my Swampert first as well here, but I will be able to go for some Sacred Swords against the opponent's Swampert, which actually does more damage than I thought, because they are Shadow. They actually are pretty weak to my Sacred Sword. And they basically give me a free move here as well, which is cool. Hydro Cannon comes through. We're going to let this move with shielded here, actually. We are going to shield them all. We will go for another Sacred Sword here as well, as we try to knock out the opponent's Swampert. Let's see if we can catch a move. That would be cool. We cannot catch a move. Can we still survive this one, though? That would be also kind of nice. We do survive this one, so we will be able to realign our Pokemon, which is cool. This Sacred Sword is coming through. I can swap into my Swampert as they have a Talonflame in the bag. And I remember this game, I screwed this game up pretty bad. We will be able to go for an Earthquake. This will do a ton of damage, does knock them out. They can still go for some moves, and yeah, I make a big misplay now. And we're going to take a look at this one now as well. This is all fine, like they can knock me out. But now I can go into my Noctowl. The thing is here, I know that they still need 2 Incinerates to knock me, like to get to another move. I will be able to survive a Brave Bird, all fine. I get the extra fast move in, I can go for 2 more fast moves and then throw my charge move. But I make a huge mistake now after this one. This does not enough damage really to threaten him too much. I thought it would. I tried to swap out here, which is all fine. I can still survive this flame charge here, but I go straight for my charge move. If I went for one more fast move now, I would have done a little bit more damage. It doesn't really matter towards it. And it would have won me the game because they win with 1 HP. I just need to go for one fast move before, and this was all my own mistake. I had the game basically there already, but I threw it away by my own actions, so that's kind of nice. Kind of annoying, to be fair. Like, if you know how you would win the game, and it was pretty easy to win the game, it's always kind of awkward to see it afterwards, and I was like, could have done it better, definitely, but yeah, it's fine. We see the opponent here with a Swampert Hydro Cannon does not 2-shot us, which is kind of cool. Yeah, Shadow version I think does 2-shot us though, which is not as cool, but we will be able to get another shield here or realign, which is both fine for me. Think I would like them to go down, but I'm not sure actually. They're gonna go down, which is very nice for me, I think. I'm just going to swap out immediately into my Cobalion. They have a Registeel against me now. I can go for 1 Sacred Sword. This puts them into range, I think, nearly for a Hydro Cannon already. A little bit, like, I still need a little bit more of damage against them. I'm going to let this move go through because Focus Blast does not one-shot me yet, as we see the Cobalion coming in from the opponent. Sacred Sword gonna do some nice damage, but puts them basically into range for Hydro Cannon, which is the only reason why I really went for that. We will go ahead and go into our Swampert now. I'm going to let this move go through. We're going to be a Sacred Sword, as I can try to catch the next one, and I will be successful with that. Catching on my Noctowl. Noctowl should go down from that. They're actually going to undercharge, which is a smart move, so they get 2 fast moves back, which gets them to another move, and it's kind of back and forth right now, as they're gonna go into their Registeel now. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon. This seems like a weird play, but I kind of want to get out of this matchup with 2 Hydro Cannons stored, because the Registeel doesn't do damage with my fast moves, with the opponent's fast moves, but they're already in range anyway for the Hydro Cannon. I should still survive 1 fast move, and those 2 Hydro Cannons will be enough to knock out the opponent here, as they gonna go down from that easily. Good game there. Swampert cleaning again. Like, this team is literally all about Swampert trying to clean end game. Here we see a Swampert in the lead, fine for us. We will be able to just go ahead and go for 1 Sky Attack. Sky Attack gonna do a ton of damage here as well, as they are Shadow actually, which means we 2-shot them easily, but they're also going to 2-shot us, which is not ideal, but I might be able to actually farm them down later on, because it looks at least like it. I will be able to see Impede on them, which is okay for me. They're going to get a shield from me. I will go for my charge move straight. This does knock them out if they want to let it go, and they're going to let this go. As I go straight into my Cobalion, maybe not the ideal play here either, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much for me here. I think I can just go straight for Sacred Sword. I get my damage on the opponent, and I put them into Hydro Cannon range. Actually going to be able to get the shield, which I think for me is even better. I think Hydro Cannon plus some mud shots are already the best option for me here right now. We're going to go into our Swampert here. We see no swap from the opponent. I can go for 1 Hydro Cannon. They're pretty low already, and I could swap out here now, but no, they're going to shield this move up anyway. Sacred Sword coming through here most likely, and I can go for another Hydro Cannon. Does this knock out my opponent though? This is the question. It does knock out the opponent, and we see a Pidgeot coming in. I'm going to keep my Hydro Cannon alive, and I can go into my Noctowl now. It's going to be a tough one, as they can debuff me here, but I really need to keep my move still alive, because otherwise I would have some problems later on if they, if I needed to farm up against the Pidgeot, which wouldn't have worked. Like this, we actually still get to a last second Sky Attack, which will allow us to go for the Hydro Cannon and knock out the opponent, which was a huge. If we didn't get this move through, like, it was definitely, the game was definitely over at this point, but this is going to be a good game. Next opponent, we will see Noctowl against Swampert again. Very decent for us. I will be able to go ahead and go for some Sky Attacks again. This is definitely better, I think, when they are not Shadow, because I can take 2 moves. If they're Shadow, it's a little bit trickier. But we see the Registeel coming in anyway. I make a mistake here. I want to go into Swampert. I just swapped into the wrong Pokemon. It just happened. I don't know how it happened, to be fair, but yeah, this was not intended. But interesting that my opponent shields immediately. They go for the super risky Zap Cannon play there. I actually thought of no shielding, because I know that I can take 1 move, but It's kind of funny that they went for the Zap Cannon, which would have done way less damage anyway. I will be able to get both shields from my opponent, which allows me to go for another Sacred Sword. They are in range for another one anyway. I can take this move now. It's going to be a Focus Blast. I don't really care too much. And they're going to go into the Swampert again, knocking me out. All good. Fine for me. I can align now my Noctowl again against the Swampert. They can go for a charge move. I should be able to knock them out in time, hopefully, as I can go for more Sky attacks now. I don't think it does knock them out straight yet, but unless they have a hard answer to another Swampert in the back, which I don't think, I should be fine, and I will be fine. And this is going to be also the final game for this video. Leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!